Or what did I do? Can you hear that?
Barely.
Dang, that's crazy.
It was better.
What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of What's Up, Cuzzo Podcast with your two favorite cousins. Uh-oh. Wrong button again. There we go. We got Jamel in the building.
What's happening, good people?
And we got your boy Marco in the building. That's enough. No applause needed. We are back another week. Episode number 47. 47 is it's definitely different. Oh, there we go. So I tried to stream on X and it says I need a premium account, so I need to upgrade. Why ain't you tell me that beforehand? Anyway, we should move forward. And I'll handle that next time. But yeah, episode 47, and we got a lot to talk about. Government is back open. People gonna get paid out, they're gonna get their benefits, people are gonna get back pay. Yeah, all that good stuff. And we'll talk more about that. And then there's this app out there. AI is something that is, taking over, to say the least. So want to address this new app that I saw. It's called Two Way. That's how it's pronounced. Trump does a interview with Fox News. I think her name is Laura Ingraham. Does an interview with her, and some interesting things. Well, an interesting topic that they talk about that I want to see. What you guys think about. And then Matt Barnes is out here in the streets. And I'll just say allegedly because I don't have no money to get sued for, but I just say allegedly got some things going on. But anyway, as we always say, things have happened.
And as always, things will continue to happen every single day.
And one of those things is kind of wet outside too. A little rainy.
Slippery.
Yeah. I started trying to see who had access to Tony's phone number or email or Instagram or something, because they said it never rains. But it definitely is gonna rain this weekend and rain today, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna jump right into it. As I said, the government is reopened, and we'll see. Trump signed. That's the wrong one. Trump signs the bill to end the shutdown. We'll start there.
Prepare for a
Sending a clear message that we will never give in to extortion, because that's what it was. They tried to extort. The Democrats tried to extort our country. In just a moment, I'll sign a bill exactly like we asked Democrats to send us all along, many days ago. This cost the country $1.5 trillion, this little excursion that they took us on. Republicans never wanted a shutdown and voted 15 times for a clean continuation of funding. There's never been a time when one or the other party ever didn't sign a continuation. It's just a continuation, not a big deal. It's a continuation, and we'll talk later. Yet the extremists in the other party insisted on creating the longest government shutdown in American history, and they did it purely for political reasons. I want to thank Speaker Mike Johnson, Senate Majority Leader John Thune, as well as House Majority Leader Steve Scalise, Majority Whip Tom Emmer, and numerous other great Republican leaders and congressmen and senators who are here and who frankly spent a long time in Washington getting this thing to go away. I also want to thank the broad coalition of Americans that stood with us in this fight to reopen government, including the Teamsters, the American Federation of Government Employees, the Fraternal Order of Police, AMVETS, the National Small Business Association, the American Farm Bureau, the American Trucking Association. These are all incredible patriots.
All of them. Yes.
The Airlines for America,
Need
the
to get
Allied
by-
Pilots
get-
Association, the National Air Traffic Controllers Association, and many didn't want to do it the easy way. They had to do it the hard way, and they look very bad, the Democrats do. They deprived more than 1 million government workers from their paychecks and cut off food stamp benefits for millions and millions more Americans in need. They caused tens of thousands of federal contractors and small businesses to go unpaid, and the total effect of the damage their antics caused will take weeks and probably months to really calculate accurately, including the serious harm that they did to our economy and to people and to families. So I just want to tell the American people, you should not forget this. When we come up to midterms and other things, don't forget what they've done to our country. I also want to all of the different markets. We set a record. It's the 48th time in the 9 months that I've been in office that we had this record set. So think of that, 48 times we had a record set, but today is the highest of them all. We're going to break new grounds. Nobody would have thought. I have with us not only the great political leaders, but the great business leaders of our country. They're standing right behind me and right really alongside of me. And if we would have told them a year ago that we'd be having stock prices this high, none of them, in fact, I just asked them that question, none of them would have believed it. And that inures.
All right, let me stop it right there. Because he's chatting. Well, you know, that's how he does. So because government reopened, he kind of laid out some of the reasons why and, you know, how we're going to proceed. What are your thoughts?
It's unfortunate that it had to be shut down in the first place, you know, especially for as long as it was, you know. When you kind of think, you know, back to the things that the government is directly in charge for, who's employed by the government. Of course, everybody knows someone, everybody has friends, families that are in the government and heard stories. But also, too, I would kind of think is the stuff that we think is part of government, that's actually not part of government because they wasn't closed, you know. So I would implore people to start looking into those things, you know, taxes, you know, IRS is one place, you know. So just kind of like start to kind of, you know, put those things together for yourself and, you know, do some research in terms of what actually is government, the purpose of it, you know, and why are they in the position that they are. But that's really getting off on another course. But I just want to know, you know, out there, the people, how many people were affected by this, you know. And then you also have the SNAP benefits issues. And a lot, of course, we have nonprofit organizations, you know, food pantries, places I saw around the city that kicked in,
Right.
that offer, you know, food as they always do, so extra stuff. And, you know, the city has a real good way of coming together and providing things that people may need, as you've seen that with the fires that we had. Anytime there's like a big disaster, there's always enough abundance of people, you know, that come in and kind of want to support the community. And I think that's something that we have to start to learn how to do on a more consistent basis and stop putting all your eggs in one basket, per se, by focusing on what the government is doing, what they're not doing. The Republicans say this, the Democrats say that. So I believe if we continue to start to look at ourselves and say, okay, what can we do So the next time this may or may not happen, or there's a change that kind of drastically affects a certain demographic of people, how can we come together and have solutions already in place to offset what they're doing or what they're not doing, the lack thereof. Um, so I just kind of see what Trump is doing. He's running this as a business, as we always said, and the Democrats are still using it kind of like their own personal, we could say piggy bank, but we can kind of really see, based on policies, based on them not, wanting, and this is going off to another subject, not wanting the Epstein files to come out. They voted against that, so that should tell you something. And it's just kind of like, yes,
Who
those things
voted against it?
the Democrats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we know that those things are distracting.
It's kind of odd.
It's kind of odd, but those things are distracting because it's kind of like they want people to kind of focus on who's right, who's wrong. They said no, we said yes. And every time I hear people talk, you want to listen to what's being said. A lot of people listen to information and they are mesmerized by the theatrics because they don't understand language. There's a lot of people that are in politics, that are in the public eye, that have been trained in PR, that have been trained in public speaking, that have been trained and have speeches or talking points in terms of what they're going to say over and over and over so they can just lull you to sleep. And you really don't put together what they're truly attempting to do or trying to do. So just listening to Trump, I definitely hear what he's saying. And I'm not a fan of Trump, but I do understand what he's attempting to do. I do pay attention to what both sides do or what each individual says or attempting to do. That's how I make my own determination in terms of what I'm looking at, what's better for the greater good of the people as a whole, and what's right or what's wrong. It could be for business, it could be for environment, however you want to look at it. So just putting these provisions in place, I think it helps, for future circumstances, because to me that's that's negligent per se. If this is something that you're going to do, then you need to make sure that all the people that are employed by the government are not affected, since you guys can't get it together. It's not like, oh, you're out there, it's nothing that we can do because they're doing this or they're doing that. It's just like when Rouse or any of those chain stores go and they have a strike, there's still people that come in at work and they get paid, but the original people are not. Yeah, exactly. So you have what they call unions in place. So they understand that, yeah, big business is going to always try to cut their bottom line because they want to make maximum profits, however they can.
Right.
So they're going to cut on product, they're going to cut on services, they're going to cut on, anything that they can give you so they can make more money on the back end, and including government. So I want you to kind of understand and think about what you're getting from your government. What have they cut over the years? Kind of look at that too as well. So anyway, that's my spiel.
You done, man?
I don't want to keep going. I was 10 minutes.
Man, I was about to hit the button.
That's why I had to stop. I saw the Sandman creeping over here. I was like, let me get off.
Nah, you good, man. Yeah. So I'm gonna just, like shoot straight. I'm not saying that he didn't, but there are some things that the president does that I'm not necessarily a fan of. And actually we'll talk about some of those things in this on this episode. There's another video I want to play. But it's been said many times, many ways, not Merry Christmas, but it's been said that how things functioned prior to him being in office. When there was a shutdown Everybody agreed, and he didn't just say it, it's been said by both sides. When there was a shutdown, they agreed, okay, we need to make sure the government stays open. But now all of a sudden, it comes around. Ironically, 2 shutdowns happen, which are the longest in history, the 2 longest in history, I believe. I know this one for sure is the longest. It's somebody that people don't like. And this happens in the process that you normally follow. When something like this happens, you don't follow. I don't know. Maybe there's some underlying things that we need to dig into. And if you guys know, like, hey, let us know out there. But in my opinion, the people are being used as pawns, as chess pieces to get what others want, like what the other side wants. And I get, like, some of these things need to be addressed 100%. Like the healthcare thing needs to be addressed, whether it's yay or nay. And there's other things, that need to be addressed as it relates to the government, the funding for the entire year. It needs to be addressed. But guess what? We can't come to a conclusion. We can't come to a decision, but it's not fair to shut the government down because we can't decide and people are being affected by it. And guess what? It doesn't weigh that much on us because guess what? We still get our paycheck. We still get paid. We don't have to worry about being furloughed. We don't have to worry about our bills not getting paid. We don't have to worry about trying to find food for our homes. And that's the problem. And now, they try to distract and they try to throw stuff out there so we could take our eyes off of what really happened and what really is going on. And it's not cool at all. And, as Cuzzo said, you have to be aware and you have to, like, listen to what people are saying. And also not just listen because people will tell you anything. You have to also see what they're doing, see their actions, because, they may be saying one thing that they may be doing a total different thing. It's wild that, and I was looking for another video, but there's a video out there where, they admit that they were, one side admits that they were using this as leverage to vote on the what is the ACA? I forgot what the other A means, but the CARE Act, like basically the healthcare. Yeah. So there's one side that says that they admit that they was using it as leverage. There's multiple videos out there. And we have to be, I believe that we have to be more open to hearing and dissecting that and not just using hate to drive us. Because guess what? Somebody you could love them to death, but they might not have your best interests at heart. And so I know I'm ranting now, but it's important that we take a look at things objectively. And I say this a million times. We need to take a look at things objectively because that way we get to see both sides. We get to see both sides of the story and we get to determine, okay, this is what they mean and this is what they're doing and this is why they're doing it, versus saying, oh, I don't like them because I just don't like them because I heard this and this and that. No, like, you get to hear for yourself. Stop letting people tell you what somebody is saying and what somebody means. Like, you get to hear for yourself. So, I'm glad the government is back open. I'm glad people are going to receive their benefits. And, and then they could come back. I think it's January, sometime in January, where they come back and reconvene and try to figure out the other issues that weren't addressed. So yeah, hopefully no more long lines in the TSA. You know, you flying anywhere, soon? You ain't gotta say nothing, but if you are, I mean, yeah, okay. Yeah, I was hoping that I didn't have to fly anywhere. You know, we heard about Houston, 3 to 5 hour wait times. Other cities, you know, crazy wait times. So hopefully, you know, things get back together soon. And then TSA, they got the people who still showed up to work. They got $10,000 bonus check. I was like, man, I should have signed up, man, for the night shift.
Yeah, I saw that. I was trying to hit up my sister. I was trying to hit up my sister to see if she got that, but she ain't hit me
Yeah.
back. So that tells me
Oh
everything
man,
I
she
need
out there running it up. Yes, sir.
to know. Her and her husband work for TSA, so it
Oh
was like,
yeah.
that's 20 grand right there.
Ooh.
Y'all up.
Oh yeah. That's yeah. That's in a major way. I mean, 20 grand is 20 grand. Yes, sir. So, yeah. So anyway, do you have anything else, cuz, on that?
No, man, I said what I needed to say, and you definitely backed it up and put some slice on it. So yeah, we got it.
Cool. So on to the next topic. Actually, you know what? I'll just go ahead and let's see, knock out the Trump topic. So yeah, Trump had to sit down with Laura Ingraham, and they had a discussion on a few topics, but there's one that kind of stuck out to me. Let me see if I could get to it. I'll share first. Share this tab. Let me see.
Did that. They never did it with me.
Which Democrats should Republicans be most worried about?
25% reduction. I think that's right. And if you remember, when I first came in, the first 2 days I had a news conference. The Democrats give false talk, and the Republicans, and I say it all the time, Republicans have to talk about the fact that prices are down. The Walmart thing is very important. When Walmart says a Thanksgiving meal costs Biden did in just a short period of time, $18 trillion in 9 months. That's the biggest in the history of the world. China's never done it, never done anywhere near that. And all that money is coming in, it's investment. It's building auto plants, it's building AI plants. By the way, we're leading China by a lot on AI. We have potentially the greatest economy already.
My bad. Why didn't you tell me? Because I wasn't sharing it. There we go.
I was just about to say, like, is it make this bigger?
It is. But we have, when these things open up, there's never going to be a country like what we have right now.
And does that
the
mean
Republicans have to talk about it, Laura.
And does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put
How did we ever do it before?
Well,
when you and I were
I'll give you an example. In Georgia, they raided because they wanted illegal immigrants out. They had people from South Korea that made batteries all their lives. You know, making batteries are very complicated. It's not an easy thing and very dangerous. A lot of explosions, a lot of problems. They had like 500 or 600 people, early stages, to make batteries and to teach people how to do it. Well, they wanted them to get out of the country. You're going to need that, Laura. I mean, I know you and I disagree on this. You can't just say a country's coming in, going to invest $10 billion to build a plant, and going to take people off an unemployment line who haven't worked in 5 years, and they're going to start making missiles. It doesn't work that way.
So, what do you think about? What do you think about his response to her question about the HB1 visas or H1B1 visas, whatever they're called, and us not having certain talent in the U.S.
Certain talent based on what? Because people are unemployed. They're making missiles somewhere else right now that they can bring an influx of people over right now.
Well, so I think what let's see, you want to play it again?
Yeah, let's play it again because I was trying to figure out. Okay, he said this, she said this, and he's like, no, you want people to get out, but it's like we need to bring in talent. I was just trying to figure out. Okay, so what is it?
Republicans have to talk about it,
And
Laura.
does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign
but
workers.
you also do have to bring in talent. When
Well, we
a
have
country...
plenty of
Okay,
talent
stop it
in
right
this
No, you
there.
country.
don't. No, you don't.
We don't.
So he's saying both, which I thought that's what he was saying. So you have to figure out, okay, if you need to raise wages for the American people, you can't continue to bring in, H-1 visas, from other places.
And that's what her argument is.
Because it's not about talent. It's about people setting you up for the industry that's coming. And like she said it before, we did it before. We had the steel mills here and the factories and the cars and all that stuff. All that stuff was here. I remember when we started first working, used to have on-the-job training. Now everybody got to go to school to learn how to do something just to do a job. I don't believe that. To me, you can cut down the timeline and the money on what it's going to take if you do on-the-job training, or you give a 6-week course. Of course, you may not know everything in 6 weeks, but you can have a foundational branch of knowledge in terms of what I'm doing. So you're telling me the only talent you can find is people coming from out of town to do that? Because that's what's been happening. Of course, you have people from India who come over here, China, who come over here strictly for IT. The battery plants. Remember, I think we did a story, some time ago where, the Hyundai, plant that they had out there was all, foreigners. And they was in there running them up out of there because they wasn't supposed to be here. Your work visa runs out. You got to go back, or you got to reapply to get an extension. Like, all these things have been done in such a way that it's put the economy at a disadvantage to where, yeah, they're going to need the people. And truth be told, they've always had immigrant help to build this country and this nation. When they used to have all the people come over on boats and ships, the Irish, Italians, you can say us, migrated here because this is where the work was. So I believe if you give people the opportunity to learn a skill or a trade, and we talked about this too, to where they took out of the schools once again, it's not a hard thing to do. It's basic. You just have to give the skill and the foundations of what needs to be done. And I'm sure they're going to figure out how they're going to work it out to where it's, it's the advantages are for both sides. Because, yeah, the wages need to go up because inflation's not going down.
Right.
Cost of living is not going down. So they need to start making an adjustment to paychecks every year, because every year something goes up, but your money don't go up. Your paycheck don't go up. So it's like, now I got to get another job just to kind of put me back to where I was, is the idea. Or you start a business, or you sell something, So I can kind of see both sides as to what he's saying and what she's saying. He's saying yes and no, but she's saying, well, yeah, you need those people because, or you don't need those, or you telling me you don't need the people, so how did we do it before? And I just explained to you an instance before when a lot of people were going off to the Vietnam War. They had all the ladies going to the factory making stuff, making bombs, making military stuff. How did they do that when they had no knowledge of it? They were at home, being home housewives or homemakers.
Right.
So how did they learn how to do that in that pinch or that fast of a time? You know, so you can solve any issues that you have, and create, you know, a surplus for yourself if you have the right minds thinking about it. And it seems to me they don't have the right minds thinking about it because they want to control it in such a way that they are in control each way it goes. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to give a leg up to the people, because if you give a leg up to the people, then that kind of diverts the power away from the government to the people. And they don't want that, because of course, if you don't need the government, then what good are they? You know?
Yeah. So that's all you had, man. I was over here.
I could go some more. I mean, if you need me to, I got you.
Nah, you good. You good.
Okay.
So yeah, in a nutshell, he was, you kind of laid it out what he was saying. But in order to do certain jobs over here, he's saying that we need a certain type of talent. We have, as you said, Indians, a lot of Indians are in tech. Also the Chinese, a lot of them are in the tech field. And I think his issue, is that yes, we don't want illegal migrations, but H1B let me see what it is, because I'm trying to call it the wrong thing. H1B. Yes, H1B. Okay. So yeah, H1B visas are a legal way of bringing people over here, so he's for that, what it sounds like. And I know that's something that came up when who was that had the conversation? Oh yeah, when it was not Cash Patel, but him and Elon Musk and forgot the other guy's name. I think he's gonna run for office in Ohio, but the other billionaire that was rocking with him initially, who kind of dropped off. But that was something that was brought up at the very beginning when he was running the H-1B visa. So I get it. I do get it, and I agree there's a lot of talent out there. But to her point, what about the talent that we have within the states? And you expanded on it a lot, but we are able to teach the people, how to do some of these things, and people are willing to work, and I think that's a major way. And guess what? We don't have to say, okay, today we're going to start having, people in America only build missiles. Nah, that's not what I'm saying, because it's a process, right? But through the process, we could start funneling people in, setting people up to start moving into those type of positions, but if you're positioning a certain group of people all the time to be in those spots, then yeah, it's going to be more difficult. And I'm not saying like don't take the greatest, the best, but I'm saying, like all things we say, like let's focus on us first, and then we get to focus on everybody else. And I think that's the whole concept behind what Laura Ingham was saying is, in order to make America great again, we can make it great again from within. Start training people up, start, having them take courses, start, like, the school system needs to change too. A whole lot actually needs to change, because the kids' mindset, like we have gotten lazy, and I'm keeping 100. We've gotten lazy, we've gotten distracted, with certain things, just like our TikTok. our TikTok shows all kind of crazy stuff, and it was meant to be actually a kids app, you know. But from what I hear in China, they don't have none of this stuff on their TikTok. It's all educational things. And guess what? On our TikTok, you do have the option to look at STEM related fields, but you just have to click STEM, and that's a personal decision. So I see both sides as well. I see what one side is trying to say, and I see what the other side is trying to say. But you know, I'm just one person. Like, what do you guys think? Like, do you guys think that we need to focus on America and train our people up to be able to do a lot of these jobs, or do you think we need, you know, to allow other talent to do it? Or are you down the middle? Do you think, hey, we need to bring people in, you know, H-1B visas, and also start to train our people? We'll see. We'll see what happens, but I think it's important that, you know, we do start to focus on our people actually doing some of these jobs. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I just kind of think too, like those times to where, like I said, we had, you know, industries booming at that point in time. Like, I definitely want to do some research. Like at that point in time, like what was happening in the country? You know,
Right.
what are some of the things like we've had? This, you know, I can't even think of what they're called now, but that time to where, you know, you had the steel mills going, you had the car industries booming, you know, we had the tech
Energy.
boom, yeah, energy, you have the tech boom now. So it's like, what is the next boom here? It's technology again, it's AI, it's automation, you know. He talked about missiles, but you know, I think that's always something that, you know, they are always looking at to do. But to me, that's the next phase. It's AI. It's what, like we talked about before. It's automation is taking away some of those factory jobs, like was done before. You know, but before they just ship steel overseas or ship it somewhere else. Now, you know, the jobs that are here, they're automating some things, you know, to where you don't need as many people. So
Right.
that's going to solve whether the people is coming from here or is coming from, you know, somewhere else, you know.
And I think I don't know if you remember NAFTA or know what NAFTA is, but it was something that it was a trade agreement that was made. It was negotiated by the second Bush, I believe, and Clinton. And so basically, that shipped hundreds of thousands of our jobs over, you know, across, you know, the pond or overseas. And that's when, you know, things started to like go down, like you know, kind of like you said, some of these businesses that were thriving, you know, they started to fail because we were outsourcing them, you know, overseas. And it took a long time. It was like over, you know, a 20-year period, but that's pretty much what happened. And that's where we're at right now. Like a lot of the jobs that were booming were successful. Uh, Trump is trying to revitalize those things. He's trying to get people to come in and to be able to offer more jobs to, you know, American citizens. And, you know, I know a lot of people weren't around during those times. I know a lot of people are resistant to it, you know, but America was in a much better spot during those times. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I was too young to realize it, you know, or to know, you know, how horrible it was. But I remember things were well, you know. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how things are, you know, progressing. I know that, you know, some people don't like it, you know, what he's trying to do with the whole tariffs and things like that. And that was actually another thing in the agreement. It took off some of those tariffs that that we had in these countries. And yeah, he's trying to re-implement that to generate income for the country. And I heard that, we might be getting a $2,000 check.
Mm.
And I saw some people complaining about it already, like, oh, he's trying to do this, trying to, trick us with a check or whatever. And even if it does happen, whatever, hey, guess what? You better not spend it. Don't spend it. If you get a check, since you don't like it, don't spend it. Yeah, put it back in the pot. Let somebody else get it who wants it. But I know if I get it, yeah, we spending that thing. Ian told me that he wanted some new shoes, so I got him.
Oh, okay. No
Yeah,
doubt. No
yeah.
doubt.
He said he wanted the latest Jordans to come out, so I'm gonna hook it. Hey, when it come through,
Gotta hook
shout
'em
out.
up.
Shout out to y'all that, what I'm saying, that don't want the check, but I'm spending it.
I'm spending it. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, don't do that. Don't spend your money on no Jordans. Invest that money. I don't want to promote that. Let me do that. Let me do the spending on the Jordans. Anyway, enough of that malarkey. We will move on to the next topic. I think I actually have it up there already. Let's see. Yeah. So it's this, speaking of AI, there's this new app out there. It's called Two Way, and it's pronounced, spelled with the number 2, but WAI. So interesting, right? WAI. But anyway, let me go ahead and run it and let me see what you guys think.
Welcome back to the channel. Today we're exploring 2Y, the platform that lets you create and interact with lifelike hollow avatars using just your phone camera and a few seconds of video. With the 2Y app, you become the avatar, your voice, your look, your memories, and you chat in real time like you're really there. 2Y brings human connection into the age of AI, your digital twin who talks and remembers just like you does. Together with avatars of creators, brands, characters, the possibilities expand beyond just you. Chat with icons, learn from legends, make your own presence felt in a new virtual space. The platform is built for creators, brands, and everyday users alike. You can upload yourself, turn into a hollow avatar, and share your story. You can also engage with existing avatars around the world, practice languages, talk to characters, or discover interactive experiences designed for learning, entertainment, and brand engagement. One of the standout features is the multilingual real-time interaction. Your avatar will speak many languages even if you don't, so you can connect with people everywhere. The system is built using 2Y's fed brain technology, which also helps protect your identity, your likeness, and keeps your conversations safe and personalized. For educators, 2Y offers an interactive education suite where historical figures or customized avatars act as tutors, guiding students step by step, tailoring lessons to their pace and needs. It's a fresh way of learning that blends AI avatar interaction with real human-style teaching. In summary, 2Y is not just a novelty, it's a new frontier in avatar interaction, digital identity, and immersive communication. If you're curious about creating a digital twin speaking in multiple languages or connecting with characters in a meaningful way, then 2Y is definitely a site to check out.
All right. So I know it sounded robotic. But that was probably one of the most descriptive videos that I can find on it right now. So the app is still kind of new. And so basically you use the app to create a avatar, as it kind of said. But there's one thing, and actually this video, I actually looked it up, looked up the app, and there's a feature where that same feature where you can create an avatar, you could actually upload a video of someone who is like a family or a friend, and it creates an avatar for them. And say, for instance, and it also takes in information and stores in information, so it kind of knows who this person is to you. It kind of knows like the stuff that you tell it about this person, and then you can have conversations with this person even though if the person is not there. So like, if you have a video of a family member who who passed away, and you upload the video. You could have conversations with this family member's avatar, which is, you know, kind of crazy. And the reason why I say that, I mean, some people, I mean, it could be some good things about this, but I see people already using like ChatGPT or Gemini, using it for things more than like information or basic information, or maybe more advanced information, I should say. Because basic information you could find, you know, Google, or, you know, you may know it yourself. But I see people using like ChatGPT, oh, pretend like you're my father, um, and then they go break into, you know, I'm going through this situation, you know, with this guy, or I'm going through this situation with this girl, or I need to make this decision. You know, how can you, you know, help me in making a choice in this particular situation? And I've heard of this girl in particular who did that, and looking for an answer from ChatGPT, and taking that answer and actually putting it into action. And so this is like next level, you know, like you're able to not physically, but you're able to see this virtual individual, and they're able to communicate with you, and who knows, you know, what you will be using this for. And I don't know, it's just kind of, I don't want to say use the word scary, because I don't want to say it's scary, but it's interesting to see where this goes.
Yeah.
Um, it's the, you know, technology is advancing. We talk about, like I said, AI. We try to talk about it as often as we can, as we come up with stuff. So, because it is the next thing. It's like the next internet. You know, like when internet, there was a boom. Internet, hey, everybody was on that thing. So this is the next like boom, you know, in technology. And so there's all kind of different things out there. You know, all these videos. You know, I saw, you know, that people are creating with AI. I saw a video where there was a chiropractor, and he like threw the woman through the wall or something like that, doing an adjustment. All kind of crazy stuff. Like alligator walked up on somebody's porch and ate one of the animals. Then they have more stuff that's more realistic, you know, where, you know, somebody walks up to a porch and then the package blew up. I know I think one of those is real, but I know most of them are not, you know, they're fake. And so how far does this thing go? You know, I could talk to a family member who has passed away. Some people would say, oh, that's, you know, sentimental, you know, but on the flip side, that could be kind of scary. Like, you know, I don't know. What do you think, Cuzzo? I'll let you share, man, and I'll based on what you see. And let me see if I can find another video while
Yeah.
you're talking.
I mean, based on what you're talking about, what you're saying, just listening to the video and then your response, it's just one of those things to where, you know, I kind of look at and say, you know, is this different from anything else that we've seen before? And the only difference that it is just it's more of an interaction to where the individual is getting more feedback in real time, you know, per se, you having to type something or you having to go back and forth through emails, you know. This just gives you another level of people seeking and gathering, you know, information through an experience, you know, of their choosing, you know. So this AI thing is pretty much people's imaginations. It can only get scary when people believe the information that they're gathering or gaining from the app is actually real, factual, and exact. And it only can be real, factual, and exact if they feel it is, you know, which in nine times out of 10, people, you know, when they're talking to people online or another individual. You got streamers, you got people that go on dating apps. Like to them, these things are real life. Having a conversation with an AI person that passed away, a family member, that can become real to them. Sometimes it gets to a point to where it's not healthy, so it just depends on how far people want to take it in the moment, so looking at it from that perspective, I think it can be advantageous to people who have mental disorders, meaning they just kind of detach from interactions with humans. They want to be something else, whether it be, animal, or they want to be, you know, man or woman,
Right.
they want to be the people in the game, fantasy, they want to be, virtual, all these tools and technologies we've been having and building on and having interactions with for years now. So just the next iteration of that is going to be you reacting with AI, virtual reality, gaming, AI is going to be all connected into where everything is going to be creative off your thought processes, your language, the way you speak, the way you ask questions is learning.
Right.
It's learning. It's an algorithm. And everybody thinks, oh, well, it's going to take over as Skynet. No, not in a sense, because it's still a program. It's still something that's pulling information from somewhere. And if it doesn't have input, or fresh input, then it can only recycle what's been given to it thus far. That's just what I'm seeing. You have some, Kuzo?
No, well, I was just gonna say that I think there will be people out there that use it for good. I mean, there's a lot of good that could come out of this, you know, adding it to education, as they kind of stated, and having the student engage with a philosopher or a scientist or a poet or somebody in history, like Einstein or Alexander Graham Bell or some people like that or Frederick Douglass or that's cool. I think that's really cool. But then on the other side, like there's some people out there who kind of take it overboard, and and this is another thing. It's nothing I don't think we can do about that. But some people are not. Let me use the right words. I don't want to say not sane, but some people are disconnected from reality. And artificial intelligence or reality can go left. Or some people are trying to figure out how can they use this for other things, that are not necessarily progressive or uh, good things, um, and like I said, I don't want to use the word scary, but there'll be people out there who use this in a way that it maybe wasn't intended for. And I think that's the risk that unfortunately you have to take because of technology. Because we have to advance, we want to advance, we want things to be better, and there's so many different things that we could come up with uh, that you could use this technology for.
Mm-hmm.
And it is learning, it is getting better. And actually, a thing that came up a few weeks ago is that Chat GPT, they said that it will no longer offer certain information to people. And actually, let's look that up
Legal,
really.
yeah,
Huh?
legal advice,
Health.
health advice. There was some
There's
other
one
stuff
more.
out there, but
Yeah.
ChatGPT is not the only platform you can use. So,
Well, no, I know I get that, but I'm just saying, like, it was a reason why they did that, though.
well, of course, because they don't want people to get out of the situations that they're in. If I'm coming with some legal verification and information, why do I need a lawyer? I can just do it myself, me and ChatGPT. And of course, they won't like that because that takes away money from that platform. So they're going to complain about it, throw money at it. let's get that shut down.
I mean, yeah, it could be that. It could. So yeah, ChatGPT stopped responding to certain advice due to safety guidelines, technical issues like server strain, or connection errors and controversial limitations. If it refused to answer or provides an error, it may be because the advice is deemed unsafe or could cause harm. So I do know this one kid was asking it about things that he should probably talk to his parents about, and he ended up taking his life. Let me see, and I don't know if there's other cases like that, but I know that's one that Chat GPT. He said he felt like harming himself, and Chat GPT didn't. Like, I mean, in that case, like, what I would expect it to, you know, um, maybe notify somebody or something. I don't know. I don't know. There's something that should have possibly been done, but I think that's one of the reasons why they stopped doing it. I mean, it could be in combination of what you said, but also, I think it gives it's been giving certain advice that that could be deemed unsafe. Like this one guy, and I don't know why he thought that. I think we had the conversation about this. He thought he came out with this patent about something. Let me look it up because if you have anything else to share while I'm looking this up, please do.
Yeah, I mean, just speaking to the point you just made, that app is not created in such a way that it's going to notify anybody, if someone wants to harm themselves. That's not what it's created for. It's an open platform, free for the most part, but, it's not monitored that way. That's not how it was set up and what it was set up for. Just like some states, when you purchase a gun, if some people can purchase a gun, but they're not, mentally stable, then they may do something to harm themselves. That's no reason to make everyone else have to do one thing or another because there's one or two people that may do it this way. Society has it wrong to do it that way. I'm going to put everybody under restriction because one or two people or this demographic of people has mental issues. So if they get on here, they could harm themselves. So we have to do something to not allow that to happen. Well, that's trying to police everything and everybody, and that's not really possible to where it's going to be beneficial, at the level it could be. So again, when you shut off certain features, then yeah, it's not going to really be a useful app to the point to where people are going to want to use it and interact with it because you have so many restrictions on it. But understanding that, yeah, there is people that need help, that want to harm themselves, and sometimes you never know until the last moment. So it's unfortunate that it happens, but it does happen, So if you know somebody that battles with mental health or have those issues, make sure you're checking on them regularly for sure.
And the app wasn't probably developed like that, but it's basically a part of a program, and you can build in fail safe and different things to come up if certain things need to be addressed. It's just like any program. If you wanted to do a certain thing or respond a certain way, then you can build that in. And sometimes when you do something, you don't know all the things. You try to find out all the things that will happen. Okay, if they do this or if they say this, then this is how we want to move forward. In any program, just like we'll say 2K. You know what I'm saying? If somebody shoots a jump shot a certain way and they release it at a certain point, then you want the basket to go in, and then also all these other things that happen, the crowd cheers, et cetera, et cetera. You try to figure out all the different things that you want to happen when something happens, and it's something that they could put into place if a certain question is asked. and there could be a certain response because it is learning, and who's it learning from? Who is it initially learning from? So if certain question is asked, it could say, okay, this might not be a great question to ask right now, but I don't know. I don't know what the verbiage will be, but there's ways to go about doing it, because it is at the end of the day, it's a program, and the program can be set up however the programmers want it to work. And I'm not saying like to take certain things away, but there are some things that programmers and don't think of when they're developing this stuff. They probably didn't think that people would use it for it to be a friend, but that's what people are doing. They're using these apps like they're friends. They're talking to them like they're a buddy, and maybe they might not have anybody, and that feels safe and feels good to them at the time, but that's not what it was meant for. And so I think that I think that things like that come up, and then they address them, And so, like I said, I don't know if the reason why they took some of those features away, because it could have been a combination of things that came up. Yeah, you know what? They asked too many questions, taking money away. Yeah, let's cut that out. And it could also be for safety issues that, people are, getting on here on ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever they're using to ask questions that are unsafe, and now they're holding, the company accountable. Like I just pulled up the video about the boy. Let me see. We could run it real quick, but let's see. Oh, you know what? That's okay. It's saying it's yeah. I won't play it. It's telling me not to. So anyway, his family is suing ChatGPT because ChatGPT they're saying ChatGPT kind of egged him on to follow through with what his thoughts were. So that's unfortunate. But we'll move on to the next subject. Last topic, we got Matthew Barnes. Matt Barnes, NBA player, out in these streets. Let's see.
And by no means am I sharing this story for empathy or sympathy. I'm sharing this story because a lie can travel around the world before the truth wakes up. And although this is all being handled legally and people are in the process of being sued, I wanted to address it because the bullshit continues to come out. For like the last 6 to 8 months, there's been a lot of bullshit, particularly posted by Tasha K, and some new chick just got into it, Jessie something, about messages, text messages, voice audios, all this shit. And it's 1,000% all bullshit. And I'm going to explain why, and I'm going to show you some receipts to show you that I'm not lying, because unfortunately today you got to do that. So this started July of 2023. My ex and I had split up for about a month, and this chick DMs me and I entertain her. We go back and forth. Conversation gets spicy, but we never met, never kicked it, never met, never seen this chick one time in my life. And then fast forward, my ex and I got back together. So I told her. She got a little weird, but she kind of just fell back. So moving along, we get back together and we end up doing this reality show. And while we were on this reality show, we find out we're pregnant. So we announced that on the reality show. And when that airs for the world to see, I start getting hit up from different phone numbers, tripping. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to expose this. So this started. So I think to myself, like, expose what? Like, we've never kicked it met, person, shook hands, hugged, none of that shit. So I'm like, expose what? But at the same time, you know, my ex was a little older, which is a high risk pregnancy. And I didn't want no bullshit like that coming out. So this chick said, pay me or I'm going to release our text, our conversation, our DMs. And I'm like, you really don't have shit. But again, okay. So I start paying this chick some bread for about a year. And I'm going to show you those receipts too. And during this time, I'm kind of just tapping in with her because she's a wild card. She's a nutcase, and kind of just checking in, having empty conversations to make sure she's cool. September of last year, we have the baby. And I keep paying her until the end of the year. So until December. I think December 6th was the last time I sent her bread. So come January, she flips out. You need to do this. If you don't do this, I'm going to expose everything. So I just confessed. I had told my ex, like, look, showed her the DMs, the conversations, proved that I'd never kicked it with the chick. But this chick starts going crazy and saying, I'm going to expose you and you just wait. And I'm going to show you that too, so y'all can see. But she just starts going on a rampage. The one thing I will say is this chick is good. We had DM for a little bit. There's some voice audios. And then during the process where I was trying to keep her sane, we exchanged phone numbers. September, so she starts chopping and screwing and even AI in my voice because she had it on a few voice audios. And since then, not a lot of blogs, but Tasha K mostly. And we know how thirsty and desperate she is and how many times she's been sued, like not fact checking anything, just whatever she sent, she runs. So there were stories out there about me being gay. There's stories about me about allegedly trying to convince a girlfriend of mine not to go on reality TV. What else? There's a story about me, the recent one about me allegedly trying to talk someone into an abortion. They threaten stories about my kids and all kinds of weird and wild shit.
I will stop it right there. Hey, Matt, what's going on, dog? Go. I'll let you start, cuz
Man,
actually, you know,
man,
go ahead.
I hope he don't think nobody believe this bullshit right here.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, you never kicked it with the chick. All you have is text messages, and you started paying her. What? Huh?
Oh.
¿Cómo está?
¿Qué?
¿Qué?
No comprende.
No comprende.
Dinero? No, no
Dinero?
comprende.
I don't got it. Release it. Release the hounds. So what? I don't care. If we never did anything, then why do you feel compelled to pay her so she goes away? I don't get it. And I get it sometimes when you you are a public figure, you played in the NBA, you know, you in the limelight kind of still right now. You a B-list celebrity, and you know, you just want people to go away so you can live your life. So that might have been the mindset, but just listening to his explanation and how he explained it, yeah, it's something else that went on, bro. Like,
Bro,
yeah,
it's crazy how easily he did what he should have did at the end, at the beginning.
yeah, right.
I'm
right.
like, bro, he showed her nothing happened at the end.
Right.
And I get it. Like it sounds, well, I'll say this. It sounds like you're trying to be a good dude. That's what it sounds like, you know, and she has a high risk pregnancy, you know, so, and she's older. I mean, that's why she has a high risk pregnancy in your mindset, in your mind. But now you put yourself in a predicament where you got even more, she got even more receipts on you. You paying this chick? He paid her $5K, but I didn't finish it. He basically paid her $5K from the beginning of the year all the way to December, so about $60,000.
So $5K a month,
pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, bro, like what you should have did at the beginning, you wait to the end to do it.
Right.
And you know, this is just my humble opinion, my opinion only. And you kind of said it because though, man, if I'm paying you $5K, I need to have touched it, felt it, rubbed it,
Right.
smacked it, like something.
Smacked it, flipped it.
Hey, or
Shot
you putting your head in my
club
lap?
up.
You
Yeah,
putting
shot
your
the
head in
club
my
up.
lap or something?
Yeah, something. Yeah.
You giving me a Thai massage? I don't know. Like it had to be something that happened for me to give you $5K a month. And guess what? I know I'm speaking from a non-NBA player status, but bro, like, I get y'all got money, but you're telling us that you just freely gave this lady money because she had some fake story over your head. And you see, he brought up AI like he chopped and screwed. Bro, like you should, hey, let me give you a tip. Vanished messages.
Vanished messages. Let me give you another tip. Go to the police. Let me give you another tip. Get your lawyer on it.
Yeah, I think he already has his lawyer on it, but yeah.
Make her go away. But why do all of that? The stuff beforehand. If nothing ever happened, hey man, make this chick go away, bro. Or my girl. Make this chick go away. I'm not trying to deal with it. You know, I'm trying to get back on my lady. We're about to have a baby. I want to focus on this. I don't want to focus on that. I'd rather pay you the $5K than pay her the $5K.
Right. I don't want her stressing about it.
Exactly.
We don't want nobody stress. Hey, just go ahead and take this and take care of it. And oh man. I don't know, man. It just seems a little fishy.
Definitely seems a little fishy, man. Seems a little cottish. You know, I don't know. I couldn't picture myself paying someone if nothing went on. I don't care about text messages. So what? Send it to her. I'll tell her for you. I'll send it to her for you. Send them to me. Come on. I'll go talk to her right now.
We can
go tell her together. I can meet you for the first time and we can tell her together.
Man.
Because to me, if she's gonna leave, you know, for something like that and we were not together, then okay, we don't need to be together. But you know, like I said, I guess, you know, his thinking, you know, he was trying to keep the situation separate. Maybe he felt embarrassed. Maybe he didn't want the two chicks to meet. Maybe he wanted to keep the chick on the side.
Meet. What you mean? He said they didn't even meet.
Well, exactly.
So how he gonna meet? How she gonna meet him before? I'm trying to figure that out.
He did say she was good, so who knows? She could be like Jason Bourne or something and just show up, you know.
Man.
Yeah.
I'll say what they'll say, Smokey, I ain't the smartest man in the world, but it look like you back there taking the shit.
Well, you back there getting shitted on. Yeah.
he definitely got shitted on.
So yeah, man,
allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
But yeah, I wish him all the luck. You know, hopefully he can, you know, get beyond that situation, where I'm sure he will, because all things pass. So it's crazy work though.
That's real crazy work. And what the other crazy thing, I'll just add this in there real quick, is that from my recollection, he's the one that had a response when the thing to Shannon Sharp happened.
Yeah, of course. We always gonna have responses to somebody else's drama, shortcomings, you know, unfortunate mishappenings, you know, because we're not in that situation. We're kind of prone to speaking on those certain situations, and I don't think you should, because you know everybody can get caught up. You know,
that's a fact.
Especially when they're not trying to. You know, especially when people know what you like and know what you want to do. That's why it's like, yeah, stand to yourself is the best thing you can do.
As a fact, and I guess he said it at the beginning, but I had no idea that this was going on, with Tasha K and all of them until he said something. Because I don't follow Tasha K, but I mean, I guess she does have a following, but I had no idea this was going on.
Yeah, I see clips from her stuff from time to time, but yeah, I really don't pay attention to it, other than that.
Man. What? What is the dude messaging me? Anyway, I know it's about that time because I had a question for you, man. How about them Lakers?
Oh man, I heard they was doing good.
Pretty good record, man.
I heard they was doing good.
Yeah, pretty good record. They got the Team White Man running the show.
Is any of the LeBrons playing?
Yeah, the young James is playing.
Young James is playing. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't think he's playing. He getting a little time here and there.
What is the injury that LeBron has? Like
they said sciatica.
Oh.
Hey man, I guess so. I mean,
oh man,
I know my mama talks about sciatica. I mean, I heard some other players talk about it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what's happening. I don't know how long it takes to heal.
It comes and goes. It's no healing. That's something you got to deal with for the rest of your life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. But they also say that I heard somebody say the dynamics of the team is going to change when he comes back.
Of course.
Yeah, I thought I was. I believe that too. I thought I was tripping when I said that.
Well, I mean, all in all, I mean, you it's logical. You put a piece into a situation that's already doing well in terms of the team dynamics and the structure, the environment, the chemistry, and you introduce something new, it's gonna automatically change it.
It's common sense, right?
It's science.
Yeah, and then you have another factor in that is they have DeAndre Ayton, who LeBron has never played with, so the flow that they're going, I don't think Austin Reeves is averaging, I think, like 28 a game right now. That's gonna change.
Oh, he hooping. Okay.
Yeah. He had shit when they was out. He had like 50 and 40, I think.
Yeah, man, they should just let that rock. But hey, what do I know?
Well, Paul Pierce said that he needed to come off the bench when he come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Paul. I know that's not gonna happen, but Paul Pierce said it, and somebody said he needed to stop drinking. Somebody, your boy Jay Richardson said he's drinking. That Paul Pierce is drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, anyway, man, that's enough small talk. We have come to a conclusion of this episode 47. And I didn't change the name. Oh, Trumped is the title. Man, thank you for those who joined us. I saw y'all hop on here, and I see one still rocking with us. We appreciate you. If you do not agree with us, hey, put it in the comments. If you agree with what we said, hey, give us a like. But if you have some insight or if you want to share, some of your thoughts, please leave a comment. We appreciate you. If you're a Raider fan, leave a comment. If you're not a Raider fan, leave a comment. What else do we need to say, Cuzzo? Oh, any closing thoughts, closing remarks?
Thank you for coming out. God bless and good night.
Okay. Keep it short, man. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Was that it? That's for real? Okay. Cool. Okay. So anyway, man, we appreciate you. Again, I think I have enough that I've said already. I said quite a bit. But anyway, man, enjoy your weekend. We appreciate you joining. Thank you guys. And we out. Episode 47. What's up, Cuzzo Podcast? Your two favorite cousins signing out. Oh, you know what? My bad, Cuzzo. I forgot something. Forgot to do. Let me see. Is that the one? Let me see. Let me see. There we go. Yeah. Episode 47 of the What's Up Cuzzo Podcast. Your two favorite cousins. We signing out. Peace.